Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase, pricing, and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is a 1998 pink gold limited edition of 110 pieces from Daniel Roth. This is the Papillon. It is the C317, and it represents the late phase of the founder's direct involvement with the company. Sometimes when a founder leaves a brand, it's a clean break, and there's the before and the after. Whereas with Daniel, it was more of a long goodbye following 1994 and the transfer to Hourglass Holdings. So he continued to be involved, and this was really one of the last models that embodies his vision exclusively. So the watch is nicely sized. Later Papillon models would be huge, but this one is compact in the distinctive ellipso-curvex case. I should mention that there were also 110 made in white gold and 30 made in platinum, and the model generally was launched to mark 10 years of the Daniel Roth brand as a standalone. Because it is smaller than the later Papillon, it wears nicely. 35 millimeters across. It's 10.5 millimeters thick and only 40.6 from lug tip to lug tip, with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. So this pink gold 110 piece series looks fantastic on my wrist, and you could see it wears that way. Super comfortable and flat. It'll easily slide under a dress cuff because it is so short lug to lug. I would even say this could be worn on a wrist of 13.5 centimeters circumference. So our passionate lady collectors who want something fantastic, independent, rare, and entertaining, always a conversation piece. This is for all wrists. Taking a look at the strap now, you can see the strap is not a Daniel Roth piece. It's a nice aftermarket strap that is just super buttery soft, a sort of Epsom leather on the top, and then you can see a contrasting stitch. We have curved spring bars to sort of arc the strap around the edge of the case, and then you can see it features a sheer cut profile with lacquering and then calfskin on the bottom, very, very soft. The buckle, however, is official. You can see it is a single folding clasp with a friction fit action. Taking a look, you can see the underside of the buckle, Daniel Roth branded right there. And so we move from strap to case, and this is where things get kind of intense. Look at those welded lugs. Always one of the standout features of these watches. The welding of the lug to the case and then the filing to remove the gathered material at the junction of lug and case. Deeply impressive. You can't do this if you're cranking out tens of thousands or even thousands of watches a year in many cases. This is slow going. We have that distinctive case form somewhere between a tonneau and perhaps a rectangle. You can see the crown is somewhat countersunk so it doesn't stick out obtrusively, and then it's unbranded, which is a tribute to historic watchmaking, both wristwatches and pocket watches, which in antiquity would often not feature branding. The dial is extraordinary with several different guilloche cuts, and it is true lathe guilloche, reductive engraving by an engine, beautiful with different colors, textures, tones, and focal planes. The dial is incredibly nuanced, and I'm going to show you some of the features here. Pull the crown out. Notice that because we have a Girard-Perregaux 3000 series base, we do have a true hacking function. Look at the minute index. You'll see how it sort of folds away and disappears with a snap action, and then begins tracing the arc of 60 minutes again. And you can see the jump of the hour simultaneously. This one is perfectly synchronized. Push the crown back in, it starts ticking again. Look at the different cuts. Look at the two different planes, textures, tones, and colors. Deeply attractive stuff. Turn it over. You can see this is very much consistent with Daniel's philosophy of watchmaking back in the late 80s through the late 90s, which was to take an elite base caliber and then build a proprietary complication on top. That's when he wasn't using the Lamagna complication movements that he largely designed while he was at Breguet. So this uses the Girard-Perregaux 3000 base. It's a unidirectional automatic winder with a 4 Hz beat rate and a hacking seconds function. It's got a 45 to 46 hour power reserve. You can see what appears to be a Triovis-style micrometric adjustment system and KIF shock protection. Then here we have our crown release and our main spring let down, and a lovely lathe-cut, individually numbered rotor with a sort of rosette, and then we've got the individual numbering matching rotor to case. We have engine turning on the base plate as well as the edge of the bridges. We have stripes across the bridge tops. We've got beveling on the edge of the bridges, polished screw heads, satination on the wheels. It is a very handsome, good-looking movement. And then you can see we have solarization on the barrel cover and the ratchet wheel. It looks very attractive. This is a watch that offers just about everything you can want. History, heritage, rarity, collectability associated with a great name, complication, and universally wearable on any wrist size. Now, it's 30 meters water resistant, but you probably don't want to test that theory. But it is a full set watch, so it comes with everything the original owner received when we purchased this on Orchard Road in Singapore. So reach out to Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details of this Daniel Roth C317.